Hi everyone, welcome to episode 2 of my motorcycling specials. In every clip we're going to be looking at the risk of the rider's actions. Sometimes they're going to be downright dangerous, and other times they just could do better. Although I think the rider misjudged the speed of the van, that's a tame one. Let's get cracking. But first I'd like to say a massive thanks to Car Vertical for sponsoring this video and supporting my channel and what I do. This clip shows a common theme: scooter riders putting themselves and other road users at risk. How close was that? Well, let's have another little look. This is now playing at half speed so we can see the distances a bit better. We can see the amount of space that the oncoming car needs, and I think my viewer does a good job. They slightly slow, use this space on the right hand side, and they're going to go out into the space after the grey car has passed. But that's obviously when the scooter overtakes. Don't forget, my viewer wasn't happy with this space for themselves, and then the scooter decides to use it also. Disgraceful. This is just poor planning. Nice job by my viewer to help out. Some more poor riding by a scooter. Watch the motorcyclist on the opposite carriageway pulling a wheelie. When the rider comes off, you've then got a 200 kilogram, 100 mile per hour rock bouncing down the road towards you. Yet another scooter rider with very little skill or awareness. At least they show some common sense and don't barge past the cyclist. But watch this next move. Use the cycle lane and overtake right where there's a crossing. And if you're thinking, why would that be dangerous? You're about to find out. Don't forget, the sunny weather brings out the organ donors.
Huh? Son? Oh my God, they're all still going!
Over the years I've purchased many vehicles just after Christmas time because I think you often get a good deal. I've also made a number of mistakes rushing into a purchase without doing any research, only later to regret it massively. Nowadays though, it's much easier to find out if your potential purchase has had a hidden history. By using the services of today's video sponsor Car Vertical, you can give yourself a little more peace of mind. All you need is a registration or a VIN number, and Car Vertical produce an easy to read report that could show up important extra information to help you decide whether the purchase of your vehicle you were looking at is a good idea. This report on this 2017 BMW 3 Series clearly showed it's had quite a heavy impact on the rear near side door. It's been written off by the insurance company, but it's only a category S, which means it should be repairable. The mileage records seem to check out and it's never been classed as stolen, but it's the extra details in the photos that made this report stand out in my opinion. They are really thorough, showing every portion of the vehicle with special attention to the damaged area, including the underneath and what looks like to be below the boot floor. I wish I would have had access to a report like this when I was buying some of my previous vehicles. Please check out my link in the description, and by using the promo code Ashley when you're checking out your next potential purchase, you can save yourself 10%. Thanks, Car Vertical. It's pretty obvious that these two bikers in front of my viewer are following each other, and they're obviously leaving the motorway, as is my viewer. My viewer's also taken up the correct position because they're trying to do a right turn at the roundabout after they've left the motorway. But it becomes pretty obvious pretty quickly that these two motorcyclists have no idea how to negotiate the roundabout that they're approaching. My viewer's heading onto the M69 and will quite soon see that there are 3 lanes that can head in that direction,
But the motorcyclist wished to take the junction that's beyond the M69. Watch how the following motorcyclist just moves lanes. My viewer's onto it though. And now watch closely to pick up on the clues of what they wish to do. They've already moved lanes once to the right without overtaking anyone, and this would be a big warning sign. I think my viewer also does a good job by holding back. But I think I would have stayed behind the both of them, considering I think it's pretty obvious they're with each other. Now look at the next clue from the head turn by the leading motorcyclist. All this was sussed out before the indicator came on by my viewer. Again, my viewer does a good job, but where's the second motorcyclist? Well, I think they must have sensibly dropped in behind, which was a good option, but I don't think these two are going to last long, especially on a busier roundabout similar in nature to what we've just watched. I'm more vulnerable and I'm more likely to get hurt, so I'm not going to look pulling out of a giveaway. I'm sure we all see riders like this in most of the big cities around the country, but my thought is, what are these guys going to be like when they get their first proper motorbike when they're a little older? How are they going to be using the roads? Scary to think. Watch this scooter rider. I don't think that's taught on your CBT. Here's someone else who needed to pay a little more attention on the training course. They didn't even look once. I've said for ages that I don't think the CBT is enough. Let me know what you think in the comments. This was an interesting line going through this junction. I can't be certain, but it looks as though they're holding the phone. Nice shorts also. I'm still a firm believer of regardless of training, people who are poor road users do what they want anyway, and this is a prime example. My viewer correctly holds back and lets the bus driver pull out. Impatience wins again. Watch the motorbike that overtakes now. They didn't leave much room for error, did they? Although the other car seemed a little hesitant, this scooter rider didn't read this situation well whatsoever. At least they had the common sense to tuck it back in behind. Watch the motorcyclist coming up behind and look at the line they take to go round this corner. That was really risky, and I don't think the overtake is much better. This motorcyclist approaching from behind nearly gets caught out overtaking by one of these bollards in the middle of the road. I don't think they could see it at this point. And then they're committed. Here we've got some nice clean footage from a VFO WM1. And now we've got another motorcyclist increasing speed into risk. That's lethal at these speeds. I would like to say a massive thanks to everyone who's used my affiliate links in the description to purchase a dashcam. Remember, if you use the code Ashley, you'll save yourself an extra 5%. Watch the further biker that overtakes the wrong side of the bollard on this bend. It's another L plate. And to finish, we've got another learner rider, but before we go on to see what mess they make of this roundabout coming up, I'd like to say a massive thanks to everyone who sends in these brilliant clips. Your continuing support is much appreciated, but if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, and always press that like button. Now, on to what this rider does. I think that was inevitable with what looks like some very slippy conditions. In weather like this, I would advise to leave the two wheels at home. Keep safe everyone, and I'll see you soon.